Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Connor Knowles, and this is the Nerdic Gods podcast, episode 192.
You got it right this time.
Fuck yeah. I'm happy, proud of myself. Joining me as always, Daniel Neverly.
What's up, gamers? What's going on?
Hi, Daniel.
What do you think about all these UFC guys bouncing out and then people getting replaced? That's pretty crazy, right?
What are you referring to exactly?
With these two big fights coming up, right? Like two of the guys they bounced
Okay,
out and then got
you want to
replaced.
just get into all that? Okay,
Yeah, I
that's
thought
been
that was
the
pretty
most
crazy.
exciting news of this week. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it is. It is pretty nuts. This happens every once in a while in UFC.
But it's one event
Yeah,
having like the
yeah.
big fights.
No, this does happen every once in a while where like just crazy shit happens and an event just seems cursed and they somehow
This one's
pull it
cursed.
together. Yeah, it's completely cursed, but sometimes those end up being the most fun cards. They're just like random shit, magical shits in the air, shit's happening, you know.
Yeah.
Guys
It's got
pulling
some
out, get
movement going
replaced on
on.
10 days notice. I'm looking at my phone just constantly looking for
Who else
updates.
is
I'm just
dropping?
like, let's go. Like who else is out? You know what I mean? It's like, it's like some WWE shit. It's like, oh, here comes Stone Cold with the ladder, and you're
She
like,
just
what
goes
the
in and
fuck?
stunners somebody.
Like,
What just
where did this
happened?
guy come from? No, I love it though. I mean, it's why it's the best sport in the world. Cause just random shit happens. Now all of a sudden we
You
get
think
the
LeBron could come in there and start fighting?
not at his age. He was like,
True, he's getting up there. You're
yeah,
right.
how old is he?
38,
38.
39.
I mean, he'd be able to throw down some heavyweights for sure.
He'll
I
be
mean, he'd
39
have to
this
be
year.
a heavyweight. The thing about that is, like, whenever people suggest that type of stuff, it's like, yeah, because all heavyweights suck. They don't need any technique. They don't, you know,
They just hit hard.
They just hit hard. That's it. So it's like,
Yeah.
can he hit hard? And does he have a little bit of a chin? Yeah, you could probably make it in the UFC out of the heavyweight division.
He's really tall. I don't know what his weight is though. So what is heavyweight?
Heavyweight is 205 through 265. Well,
He's
technically
probably
206.
200.
Yeah,
LeBron's
I
probably
mean,
200.
there's
He's
no
like
way that man could make
6'8" or
205.
6'9".
Yeah, there's no. You're not. You're above like 6'5". You're not fighting anything else
Probably,
other than
yeah.
heavyweight. Yeah, but yeah, I don't. People always suggest that type of shit, and it's like, yeah, heavyweight for sure. But like, you couldn't get like, I don't know, you're any high level athlete that's like not a heavyweight, and then just go into the UFC.
Because they're all doing a lot of ground game.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
just gonna tap 'em out.
it's too much. It's too much. It's the same thing with all these boxing crossover fights and stuff like that. It's always the MMA fighter.
No, that's just the Paul brothers trying to fight.
Well, it's not.
people that
Well,
have
I
a big
mean, you know,
name.
McGregor, Floyd back in the day, stuff like that.
That's true.
It's but it's
He
always
outclassed.
just
Yeah.
but it's always the MMA fighter going into boxing, which is understandable
for
because they make way more money in boxing. But bring the boxer over to MMA, that's not going to go well. In
Yeah,
fact,
if you
that
put
did
Floyd-
happen with Randy Couture and James Toney. James Toney, high level boxer.
Got a boxer. Okay.
Yeah, he was a high level boxer. Was a little bit older at the time, but so was Randy Couture. I believe Randy Couture was even older. But he came over, did one MMA fight with Randy Couture, got submitted in 90 seconds, I believe. So it's like, all right, this has happened.
Yeah. Yeah, if you bring like if Floyd stepped into the octagon, it'd be a different story. But it's just like that's just they're two different games.
Yeah,
It's like even Connor, he likes to stand. He's not going to get in there and try to tap Floyd out,
Sure.
but like he could do more. He could kick and all that stuff, which he couldn't really do in boxing. But it's like, I mean, Floyd can't do that.
Well, it's
Floyd's
it's
particular
just
fighter.
Conor McGregor has been 75% of his time at least for training for his however long he's been training for. He's been dedicated towards grappling, towards the clinch, towards things related to MMA, other than punching. So of course he's not going to be able to go over there and box with Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, one of the greatest defenders of all
And
time.
somehow they convince people on these things, and that's how we end up with these shitty pay-per-views that millions of people buy. It's it grinds my gears, Daniel.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we could just turn this into the MMA show. I'll go deep,
We're
bro.
slow now. I think it'll work.
Yeah, bring Stallone in. I'll just talk about Volkanovski and Islam, and we're good. Kamar Usman's fighting Hamza. Ooh-wee. All right. Video games, though, Daniel. It's been another busy week in the world of video games. Speaking of, though, UFC 5 comes out in like 2 weeks.
Oh, does it really?
Unfortunately, it comes out the same day as Alan Wake 2, so I'm like,
I was just gonna say you already have 3 games to play.
Yeah, I got that Spider-Man and Alan Wake. It's like, all right.
And then for me, it's like a week after that is Call of Duty. right?
Ooh,
It's like, oh man, I want to play that
that's
campaign.
rough. That's a rough lineup right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 4
Yeah,
games I want
UFC
to
5
play.
will be on the back burner until I'm done with Spider-Man and Alan Wake.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, cool. Let's get into the news, Daniel.
Yeah.
First up, I believe we're starting with this. Sony has announced a PS5 redesign model that is a bit smaller and will have a detachable disc drive. It will be available this November for $450, and the disc drive itself will cost $80. Daniel,
Expensive.
you can also get the little stand that costs $30.
Oh, okay. Okay. So my stand that I could buy right now with my PS5 that came out, you could do
Yeah.
both.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be because like I don't know if people can see my PS5 is right there and it's standing. It is standing.
Do you even have it on a stand?
I do.
Like, what? Why is the stand even necessary? Is my question.
I think it's probably for safety reasons, especially
Okay.
this way.
Air filter shit,
Like
whatever.
horizontal.
Or you want to filter the air rather?
I think you have to have it horizontally because I think it would rock.
Okay.
Because of the stupid design.
I have mine. Yeah, I have mine horizontally. It's under here,
Yeah.
but it's also like on a stand.
Yeah, it would probably.
But it's not
rock.
on anything.
You don't have that circular thing that it came with. You
No,
don't have
I
it on
don't
that?
even fucking have that. No.
Does it not rock without that?
Not
That'd
really.
be why.
I just touched
Okay.
it. Like,
Okay.
No, not really.
But so the thing that I got in the console that could do both.
Yeah. Oh, it can do both. Oh, okay. I didn't even understand that. So it can lay horizontally too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you could put the thing in and have it horizontally. So now they split that. They give you the one that's only horizontal. So now all the pictures for the marketing you're seeing is the thing you have to buy separately. Okay, you have to buy $30 or whatever separately for all the pictures.
The audacity.
It doesn't make any sense. What are you doing?
Also, like, dude, just use like a fucking coaster if you need a stand that bad. Like, it's just this little thing.
Little circular coaster. Put
this little fucker on there. You're good. Who cares? I just love it.
Insane.
I just love that. I saw that price. It was $29.99 for like this little fucking piece of plastic.
They could have just gave it to you. They could have just gave it to you.
Nah,
I
can't do that.
Sense.
Can't do that. Can't take that hit. Daniel. Okay, the console itself, a little smaller. I don't.
Pretty small, which
doesn't seem like they're officially calling this the Slim. But I also saw that it looks like they never actually called anything the Slim except the PS2.
No, I think they did. Was that other one not the Slim?
Was the PS4 actually branded the Slim?
I think they.
I couldn't find anything on this, but like I found PS3 ones that were never actually called the Slim. You know, but I don't know.
Well, they had they had the base PS4. Mm-hmm. They had one. I'm pretty sure it was called the Slim because I think they still kept selling the base PS4, and it was the one that had like that more sandwich design, that ugly like weird sandwich design.
Well, they cut out because they had like 3 layers, or maybe that was the Pro that had 3 layers.
The Pro had like 3, and then the
base just had like the 1 layer where it looked like you cut half of that off.
No, I have the base.
Do you have the not the base, the Slim, whatever we're calling it? Yeah.
That one had like
it looked like
started
one
becoming
layer.
A sandwich design. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the original PS4 it looked like a fucking eraser, but it looked like an ice cream sandwich.
Yes.
And it's like you take the top part of the sandwich off.
Exactly. It was like slanted sideways, and then this like this. So it's significantly smaller. I didn't really. I'm with you.
It was
I don't
like
see them
30% smaller. And then I can't some inches shorter. I don't fucking know.
If you look at the like picture by picture, like people that can see on our thumbnail, I have both of them there. It does look it is smaller, which is nice. I don't like the I mentioned before the show, me and you talking. I don't like that little like the lines in it. I think it's just I don't know. It throws it off. I prefer it to be nice and smooth.
Yeah, I think they have to have that for the detachable disc drive. I do think the line looks a little weird though too. I'm kind of with you on that. Yeah.
It's interesting they're doing that disc drive thing. You know, like I think Tom. We quote Tom Henderson here a lot for our news. He broke like that disc drive long time ago. Beginning of last year, maybe.
Yeah, maybe even then. Yeah.
I think it was last year. Or maybe it was the end of last year. It's like a year ago. So he was right about that, and it just seems like it's going to keep going to digital.
Staying on that, I think that's a smart business move for them because we know they get the 30% from the PlayStation Store every game sold through there. So I think that's the goal here. I think every company is kind of pushing towards that now. They want to sell stuff through their own storefront, so they get that extra cash.
For sure. Yeah, I wonder what the percentage a Best Buy or a GameStop would take. Because
Yeah,
it's definitely not the 70% that the other gets. It'd be that 30%, right?
yeah. They
So what are
probably
they
don't even
getting?
get
10?
that, honestly. Yeah, probably 10. Yeah.
Is it 10 to the 10 for them, 20 to PlayStation, and then the rest of the 70 to the devs and the publisher? Is that
Yeah,
probably
yeah. I wonder how that's broken up. It's probably different for all of them, honestly.
it could be different for
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, it still feels weird like looking at the designs of the digital and then the not digital, right? Like it's very clear that whoever designed the console designed the look without the disk drive. I think we talked about that when we first saw the
sure.
original
Yeah,
PS5. Like it, because that's the one I have is just the digital one. It
yeah.
just looks, I don't really like how
Oh,
it
you
looks,
have
but
the digital as well? I didn't know
yeah,
that. Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
have the digital as
yeah.
well,
If you can see, I don't have a little bump up line.
which is funny because well, here I'll let you finish.
Basically, I'm saying that the designers I feel like designed without that bump,
Yeah,
and then you put the bump on it, and it just makes it looks dumber. It just looks worse.
yeah.
And I think
The
it's
disc drive does make it look odd.
yeah,
It's got an
and it's
ass
more
now.
noticeable with I think the slim than it was with this one, just because
Yeah.
it's like
Well,
the
yeah, because
size
it
difference.
seems because yeah, exactly, because it's smaller and you're putting the
Yeah,
disc drive on top now. Yeah.
yeah, it's just funny looking. Looks like it
What I was
still
gonna
looks a
say
little
though
crappy.
is with the digital, me and you lucked out now because that was $400, and now they're raising the price to this
I
to
can't.
450, and
They
then
keep raising.
yeah, so now you can only get the digital. It seems like they're phasing the digital out. I don't know if they're phasing the I read this somewhere. So I might be wrong a little bit, but it seems like they're phasing just the plain digital base version, the $400 digital one, out with this.
I think that they were already doing that.
Yeah, I think from what I understand, it's very hard to get the digital
Yeah,
console
I
by
think it's been
itself
very
now.
hard even when we got it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I got it on day one, so I pre-ordered
Yeah.
that, right
Oh, for
away.
sure. That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You bought
Yeah,
it day one.
so
But yeah, I guess
yeah, it
even
must
when
have
I
been.
got
I
it,
mean, you
it's
got it
just a
pretty quickly after that too,
I
right?
think I got it in January.
Yeah,
So I got like a couple months later, but like yeah, I think all of that 2021 it felt like people were really only getting the disk drive one. Cuz like didn't we talk about it in 2021 like people like getting ordering like a digital one for the
in
400
20
and
that was on
getting
launch. Yeah, if you
yeah, and
remember, there was
getting
that
one with
one
a
guy
disk
in the kind of
drive.
funny. I think he's what's the guy's name? Cameron Kennedy. I think he's been on the show
Yes.
before. But he bought a digital one and then they shipped it to him. He got the digital version box, but he opened it and it was the
And
disc
it had a disk
version.
drive. Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy. It's like I guess that they just only made so many, you know?
yeah, yeah. I think which is odd because you'd think they would have been pushing that one more to begin with because it would push people to their storefront. You have to buy games through the PlayStation
I
Store
think
through
it's
that.
more the margins for how expensive it is to make the console. I
Sure,
think that's
yeah,
more of what it
and
is.
probably
Not
more
that
people
they,
wanted this version,
yeah, and then like
especially at that time.
yeah, yeah. What do you think about it being $80 for that distro? That seems expensive to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much that would cost. That doesn't offend. I mean, what I'm more. I guess I'm not offended, but like what stops me in my place more is the $50 price bump in the in just getting a digital version. The
That
$80 disc
is,
drive,
yeah,
fine. If the console costs 400, still if just the digital version just costs 400, that's fine.
that makes it more of a deal, right?
Yeah, I don't know how much a disc drive would normally cost, so like I couldn't tell you if $80 is outrageous or not, but like the $50 price bump in the digital version does seem a little outrageous to me.
Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, if it was 400 and then you add the disk drive, it's 80.
Yeah,
Oh, that's more of a deal. Then why would you even get the one with the disk drive? You just purchase them separately and put it together
right.
yourself. But now it's like if you wanted that disk, you have to be thinking about it ahead of time. It's like,
Oh,
do I really want the
100%.
disk drive, or you're going to be paying an extra $30?
Yeah, there is no point in buying that extra disc drive, pretty much, I would say. You might as well just go and buy the one with the
Yeah,
disc because
you have to think ahead of
you're
time.
wasting
Yeah,
$20, right? If
yeah,
if you do go and buy that disc drive, and maybe it's the type of thing where you want it later. You buy this digital one in November, and then a year from now you want something with a disc drive because you're seeing a bunch of deal for games on disc, and then you end up buying that. You might be fucking yourself out of $20 there, but that's like
yeah.
really the only case I could see where you buy that disc drive, right?
I'm going to Newegg right now. and I'm going to look how much external disk drives are. This would be for PC, but I'm just curious.
What are they, like $20
Or less.
or
It
less? Yeah.
goes from 10 to 20. I see one for 16. So they're right around 20 at the highest
Sure.
right now. But this is PC, so it's a little different.
Yeah, I'd expect place. I think a fair price would have been 50.
And maybe I
Not
should
even
look more
fair,
into
but like an expected price, I guess, would have been 50 for the disk drive. 80 is
even it
much.
out
Yeah. Yeah,
to even it
exactly.
out
Even
so
out.
that
Yeah, then it bumps it
if you
up
do get
to
it,
the
it's the same
same as that
price.
disk drive. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense. You're
Yeah,
right.
I think that would have made a lot more sense. But yeah, is what it is, I guess, So I guess there'll be more PS5s on the market at least with this. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and
Something
people can
positive.
actually get a smaller one that's not the size of a fridge.
Yeah. Right.
you know, like that's the biggest complaint I think. Like I'm not a big fan of the design, and I know I'm not 100% sure if you really like it, but um,
I don't care for it. I don't know. I've realized I'm not really like the guy that cares about these sort of things, I don't
yeah,
yeah, I'm just not. I guess if you want to like show it off, I don't think the PS5 is a good console to show off. If you like want to
yeah, that's true.
display this thing in your living room, I don't think it looks good in your living room. But
I
I think
mean,
a lot of that has to do with the white, honestly. Like I don't it depends on how your room is designed, White just
yeah,
doesn't look good to me on devices
it definitely sticks out.
in a certain setting, especially in your living room. Like I think the white just looks bad, and
Unless your living room has that design, maybe the black and white
yeah,
design, it might
for
fit.
me, I want the console to be as hidden as possible,
Yeah,
and the giant white PS5 does not do that. That's
yeah.
I don't want people to know it's there personally.
I think the bigger thing not is like not the design, it's the size of it, especially that
Yeah,
original model. That size, it's too much.
yeah, it's
It's too much
huge.
for living rooms. It's too much for entertainment centers,
I mean,
anything,
it's damn near
dressers or
the size. Like
whatever.
I got this fucking PC sitting right next to me. It's not
It's
that
nearly the
big,
size of a
but
PC
like it's
tower.
fucking it's almost as tall as that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've been expecting this for a long time, so not too shocking or anything. But
Yeah, what was the release for this?
November
Soon, right?
5th, I believe, something
The
like
fifth?
that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Just a few weeks. Did they announce pre-orders? Like when the pre-orders would be up
I think you can
for
now.
anybody?
I think on the
You
blog
can
it said you
can
can
now.
now.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you want to do that, I think there's a Spider-Man bundle with this as well. So sure
Oh, there you
that'll
go.
sell like fucking hotcakes when that goes up or whatever. So yeah, PlayStation doing PlayStation things.
Doing
thirty
sometimes weird
dollars.
decisions.
$30.
Yeah.
Just use
For a
a
piece of
coaster.
plastic.
Just use a coaster.
Just use it doesn't work that. You
Fold
actually
a
hook it in.
bookmark and then put it on there.
Tape it to your desk.
Do anything. All right, let's move over to the exciting world of Xbox. With the Microsoft purchase of Activision Blizzard set to be approved any day now. Do you know the date exactly? I think it was the 16th, something like that is the
They
deadline.
said this week.
Did they say this
Oh no,
week?
they
Okay,
said this week that it could be done,
could
but
be done. What was the
no,
deadline
it's
date? Was it
next.
October or something?
I think it's the 20 something. I don't think it's next week. It'd be the week after. I think
Okay.
the
Um,
week before Halloween.
Let me just start that over there. With Microsoft purchase of Activision Blizzard set to be approved any day now, Activision Blizzard stated, "While we do not have plans to put Modern Warfare 3 or Diablo 4 into Game Pass this year, once the deal closes, we expect to start working with Xbox to bring our titles to more players around the world, and we anticipate that we could begin adding new games into Game Pass sometime in the course of the next year." Daniel.
Yes,
Sounds like they're ramping up here for some
I think
Game
so.
Pass drops as probably almost as soon as the deal closes, maybe a little bit after, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think the most we can get into like how they're going to add things. I think the thing that struck me the most about like the statement was that there was a statement like this.
Yeah.
The fact that Activision Blizzard like their own account said this. This wasn't an Xbox thing that was said. This was like leadership from Activision Blizzard they went out and said this. Really shows I think this deal is very close.
Oh
Um,
yeah, for sure.
I think that they are pretty much gonna be done. I would be. This is we're recording this on a Thursday. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow it gets announced
Yeah,
on the 13th.
could see that. Maybe Monday.
Could be Monday. Yeah,
Yeah.
could be either Friday or Monday.
Regardless,
maybe Monday.
by the time we record next week for
Yeah,
next week's episode,
I think it'll be
I would
done.
expect this deal to be through. Yeah.
Yep. And then actually like digging into what Activision said, I think there are two big games this year: Diablo 4 and Modern Warfare 3. They might not be put in this year. I still think they're trying to rely on those games to sell.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's what it came across to me as, is like maybe they have a lot of people asking, "Hey, is Modern Warfare 3 gonna come to Game Pass or something like that?" You know, a lot of kids asking that or some shit, and because they want to get it for cheaper, you know, they want to get it for $15 for that month. But they were like, let's just hold up here. We want to sell as many copies as possible of Modern Warfare 3. They come to Game Pass, so
yeah, maybe in the springtime is what I'd guess.
yeah, sometime
Maybe
around
like
there,
March-ish, maybe. But I would definitely expect to see like the back catalog of Call of Duty games, the back catalog of like the Activision stuff, the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, the Spyros, the Crashes, maybe the older Diablos, that Diablo 2 Resurrected, stuff like
yeah. Oh,
that.
that'd be a good one.
Getting into Overwatch stuff, maybe get some like Game Pass perks you get, like skins or something through having Game Pass, stuff like that, putting it on there. I think you'll probably get stuff like that slowly paced throughout because they got a lot of stuff to put on there.
What about Crash Team Rumble, baby?
Crash Team Rumble,
They didn't mention Racing? That their biggest game of the year.
That's very true. I forgot that came out this year.
Yeah.
The prototype games. There's a lot that they have. Sekiro. I don't know. Can they put Sekiro on Game Pass? I don't know.
I have beef
probably
with
not.
Prototype games.
You what?
I have mad beef with prototype games.
I know you do.
Mad beef with prototype games.
I don't know why.
Dude, because I told all my friends this game was going to be good, and I told them all, I was like, oh, this game's going to be fucking awesome, guys. And then I remember I had like 3 friends that came over and to watch me play it. I was like, damn, this game sucks.
They are good games, though.
The first one is not. The second one's better. But,
okay.
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun. They had their
yeah, that's what.
Remember when those guys made the Incredible Hulk game? Before that, it was like a PS2 Xbox. That was the same dev, yeah. They play very similarly, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a fun game.
I've always wanted to play that Incredible Hulk game.
Yeah, it was a fun game. It was a good time. There's also that fighting game with Marvel where they cursed all of them. It was like really weird. You could like see Spider-Man be like, "Fuck you."
What?
Yeah, what that fighting. There was a Marvel fighting game in the PS2 era. It's on Xbox too. I can't remember what that game was called, but like, yeah, like the superheroes cursed and shit.
What?
Yeah. What was that game called?
I need to know what this video game is.
Yeah, it was a wild time. I don't know if Spider-Man actually said "fuck you," but like someone said "fuck you." Marvel fighting game. But like, what else do you want to see come through this deal? Is there anything in particular that you would play that like you're looking forward to? Because something interesting happened the last summer where the older Call of Duty games kind of shot up in player count and stuff like that.
They still are
and stuff, yeah, and they still are. So I think it'd be a really good time to bring those older Call of Duty games forward, right? And have them all on Game Pass.
I think that was like a prerequisite right there. Let's get these servers back up. Then when they come to Game Pass, it's already ready. People can start playing the multiplayer again.
It was called Marvel Nemesis: Rise of the Imperfects.
I've never heard of this video.
Never heard of this. You remember this?
No.
Right there. You don't remember that? Yeah.
That's the cover?
That's the cover, yeah. Oh, this was published by EA, actually. Excuse me.
Interesting.
Yeah. They swore. So yeah. I can't wait for the day where we wake up. It should be any day now, honestly, where we wake up and I wake up. You'll probably just see it, but it would just because I wake up at fucking 1 p.m. But
hey Connor,
yeah, definitely send me a Discord message that day. But we just see here's a huge drop of Activision Blizzard games coming to Game Pass, and it's like, okay,
it won't be right away.
Fun.
It'll be within that next like couple weeks.
I wonder if they like slowly do it and like, okay, one day here's all the Call of Duty games, and then next month here's all the Crash games or whatever.
Yeah, when they did it with the ZeniMax stuff, the ZeniMax Bethesda stuff, I think that was like a week later. They did like a big dump of stuff. So yeah, I would assume it'd be they'd pace it just a bit. Like it wouldn't be right away.
Yeah, that'd be good, like Christmas time thing. Try to do something like that. Yeah.
Where you get the Christmas
consoles too, so maybe
that's a Call of Duty thing already.
Yeah.
Like Call of Duty sell, it has like a second pop during Christmas because that's like that's when kids get Call of Duty and stuff like that. Like, as
That's
like
when
a
all 12-year-olds come in the lobby. You gotta stop playing the new one that day.
not even just 12-year-olds, but we used to call them Christmas noobs. Because we've
Christmas
been playing,
news, yeah.
we've been playing for a few
We've
months
been playing
already.
2
You get the
months. Yeah.
Christmas noobs coming in, they're level 1s, and you beat them up.
I'm like
You know,
third
it's like
prestige, bitch.
I'm slaying you right now. Christmas noobs coming
Get
in.
out of here.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Well, there you go. Some more Activision Blizzard news. Please just end this deal.
Please.
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 Or
For
kill
my
me.
sanity.
One of the two.
You know what? Let's just do that then.
You know, that sounds better, actually.
That sounds better.
More
Let's
into that.
Let's be honest.
Sticking with Activision Blizzard, Bobby Kotick held a all hands on deck meeting hosted by James Gordon the other day.
Why does it? Who likes James Corden?
No,
Seriously,
absolutely.
I don't. I've never heard
great
someone
in
say.
Cats. Let's be fair.
Boy.
Let's be fair. He was a great cat.
I still need to see that movie to be.
He had the Mario suit on. You know, that's exactly what they all look like. Is when Mario dresses as a cat.
It's true. It's live action cat Mario.
Like, crawl up the wall and shit. But no, Bobby Kotick held a meeting hosted by James Gordon. It was about the future of Activision Blizzard after the acquisition goes through and the possibility of a new Guitar Hero. They also discussed some other things, some Neuralink thing or something like that. I don't know how they got all the information about this meeting, but
there might have
someone
been
spilling the beans here.
It wasn't some of it could have been public, especially if Corden was hosting it.
Yeah, you think they would have recorded that with Gordon hosting it, right?
Well, a lot of like investor calls, like you can get onto. So it's like there might be some public stuff for it. Yeah, I think Kotick basically said like something along the lines of, if there wasn't more backing, right, they couldn't do a lot of things. So it seems like maybe with a lot of influx of like cash being owned by Xbox now, like maybe they could do more and maybe take more risks, right? Like bring a lot of things back. So, Guitar Hero is one of them. I think it's going to be interesting what if they really want to bring Guitar Hero back, if they decide to actually do the peripherals or not. Because like that is going to be a big cost. So maybe they could get around it by just bringing it back without the peripherals for a little bit.
Didn't we just fucking try this? Like 4 years
Guitar
ago?
Hero Live?
Yeah.
Live?
Like, didn't we just try to bring this back and it didn't work at all? Like, what do we do? We're just repeating this? Like, what are we fucking thinking here? Like, no, it's not gonna work. That was a time and place thing, Guitar Hero. That was a time and place thing. We are kids do not give a fuck about that nowadays. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna slightly disagree.
Okay.
Just slightly. I think they need to understand what it is and it to be more of a niche thing and not be the big thing that it was, right? So that's why I'm saying like maybe don't do it with the peripherals so you don't have more extra cost. But
then how are you gonna like? How would you play it?
With your controller. I mean, you could do it before with your controller. But what I'm getting at, I know. You just do like the face buttons.
That's so not fun though.
But what is a success this year was a rhythm game. Was the Final Fantasy one. Was theater rhythm final bar. So but that's a niche product and it's a Final Fantasy rhythm game, but maybe they need to like kind of experiment with it, like Amplitude and Thumper. Like there are rhythm games that have seen success since like the death of
Amplitude and Thumper are different. Those are
but they
have
games.
Gameplay in there. Sure,
Exactly.
I understand what you're saying, and I love me a good rhythm game. I do, right? Yeah, you would have to change it up a lot. The current what you think Guitar Hero is, that would not work today. We just tried it; it didn't work, and
it needs to be hybrid, right?
That doesn't come back. It's just I don't know how you could possibly bring that back. It's just I don't. And plus, this is Activision Blizzard. They're not gonna bring this back to sell fucking 1 million copies. Like it's like sure that theater rhythm game was a success for Square. I don't even know. Square was probably like, oh fuck that game. It
probably sold 1 million.
Yeah, and Square was probably still disappointed.
Probably.
I don't know. You'd have to give it a huge push, right? You're gonna have to somehow get the kids involved. You're gonna need fucking Olivia
I
Rodrigo
mean, you could do a
to
mobile
fuck
version.
Guitar
I mean, you could
Hero
put it
Olivia
everywhere.
Rodrigo, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
maybe
sure.
a mobile version. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see a world where Guitar Hero as it was comes back and makes it as big as it was, because that was their yearly franchise for a long time, you
Yeah,
know? They went from Tony Hawk to the Guitar Hero, and then Call of Duty came along, and then they were like, okay, we'll stick with this one, you know?
yeah.
And that one never faded. So yeah, I don't know. I don't see a world where these things come back. I don't want it to personally either.
I don't see why not. I
The
like a
guitar was
variety.
super annoying to just have in my room. I remember.
No, that's why you
So
use a controller. That's why you use a
that's
controller.
not fun. You could do that with the last game, with the Guitar Hero games. You could play with the controller, and that was
Yeah.
always just like, hey, you want to play 2 player with my friend? And I didn't have a second guitar, and he would be stuck with the controller, and he's having a horrible
He
time.
gets the
You
Mad
know,
Catz controller.
it's just you would have to change the game a lot, you know, add another gameplay aspect like a thumper, you know, to if you wanted to do it with just the controller. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see a world where this actually comes back. I don't see a world where Bobby Kotick's even working there in 3 months, so I don't
I
know
was
what the
already
fuck
thinking
he's
that
talking
too.
about.
Yeah.
Like, Bobby, how about you and James Gordon get the fuck out of here? How about that?
Please, don't leave the room.
Like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing here. Bobby Kotick's a fucking asshole. We don't
Yeah.
need this guy anymore. I don't
No.
know. As soon as this purchase goes through, I'm expecting him to be fired, and like, unfortunately, he's gonna be rich till the end of his days. But
Oh yeah.
whatever, get him
And he
out of the
already
fucking game
is.
industry. You know, yeah,
Yeah.
it's too late for that. You and James Gordon, you can go fucking hang out somewhere else, because I don't want to hear about him anymore.
I don't really either. I don't really either.
Okay. Moving on from Xbox, we'll jump back into the world of PlayStation. The PlayStation Access controller has officially got a release date of December 6th,
Very
2023.
soon.
It also has multiple previews out online from multiple different outlets, so you can go look into those if you're
Yeah, I think
interested
they
in the
worked with
controller.
Logitech. I think is what I was seeing too, which is pretty cool. I love Logitech stuff, so they're a good quality brand. It's really cool that they're doing this. It's they're definitely taking a different approach than like Microsoft and Xbox are with their adaptive controller. But you love to see more ways that people can play stuff. Like the only thing that I find a little weird is like how many like little pieces are like. There's a lot of little things that you can put on this Access controller.
Yeah, there's a
Like I
lot
don't.
going on there. Yeah,
There's a lot going on there. So like it seems like you could maybe lose some of those parts. I don't know.
yeah,
It's
it's a good
there's a
point.
lot.
Keep it together. Yeah, you'd have to
Yeah.
keep it clean. Yeah,
But I'm
yeah,
also
this is
not
cool though. I
sure
mean,
how much is on the adaptive controller. Like I don't know if that has like a lot of little parts like that too. I'm not sure.
yeah, I'm not entirely sure either. Yeah, it's cool though. Of course it is. I mean, allowing more people to play games else in other ways, you know, that's awesome to see, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Did you say the pre-orders are up now?
I could look into
Or yeah,
that.
did they say
Yeah,
anything
I
about
know
the
it's
pre-orders?
available December 6th. I think you can pre-order it now. Let me check in here actually. PlayStation blog. Yeah, there are a lot of little pieces here.
There are a lot of little. Yeah, that's what I was seeing. There's a lot of attachments to it.
So there's also a Logitech G adaptive gaming kit controller. Interesting.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was with Logitech. I did see that
Oh,
they did
okay.
something with
That almost
Logitech.
looks like an entire different thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's see. Yeah, pre-orders are up now, so you can go get that now.
Pre-orders up now.
Yep,
Sweet.
get that on the PlayStation Store.
Go
Yeah,
get
there
that.
you
Go
go.
get the new Slim,
Yeah, there you go. Get the fucking
the
little
pregnant
little
disk
piece of
drive one.
plastic, $30.
And get the make sure you have to get that
You gotta get that
the
stand.
vertical stand.
Don't use a coaster. It's a terrible idea. PlayStation's
It's
gonna come and
I need to
assassinate
say
me
it
through
again.
the window.
I need to say this again.
Shut your damn
The
mouth.
fact that every marketing picture is it standing is insane because that's not how you're going to get it out of the box. They're giving you the horizontal one. Like
Yeah,
that's how you're going to be getting it. You have to buy the thing separately. So why is the picture the vertical one?
because it looks better.
It does. So why don't you just put it in the
It just looks
box?
better, you know.
Oh boy.
You can't
I'm
do
the
that.
crazy
You can't
one
do
though.
that.
I'm
You
the
can't do
crazy
that. You are the crazy one. All right, moving on then. Game studio The Behemoth has announced Alien
hominid.
Hominid Invasion, a sequel to the 2004 Flash game that they made called Alien Hominid. They will also be releasing an HD version of the first game when the
Okay.
sequel comes out on November 1st. There you go. Daniel, The Behemoth, the Castle
Love
Crasher guys.
love them.
Finally putting
Love
out a
them.
new game.
Yeah, I think their last game was Pit People, which I actually never checked out. I do want to check that
Yeah, I
game
never
out.
did either.
And that was a while ago. Pit People was like
I think I saw.
2016 or
Yeah, it
something,
was like right around then.
or
Yeah.
2017 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. They've been working on the game for a while, and I guess this is finally it. Love Behemoth. Their like art direction and like humor is like second to none. They're so funny.
They stand out super well,
They
right?
stand out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Battle Block Theater was really fun back in the 360 as well. Castle
Never
Crashers.
played that.
Alien Hominid, I actually never played. I think I own it. But the funny thing
Yeah, I
is
was
they
trying to look at that and see if I like did I play this on like Flash at some point or something. You know, it's just like some shit I saw in school. You know,
I probably did. I probably tried it the Flash version. But like the 360 version was technically the HD version.
Yeah.
So it's like funny. This is like the HD version.
Yeah, it's I mean, these guys were huge, man, back in whenever the
360,
Castle
yeah.
Crashers released. That was like what 2008, right around there. So these guys were like
Yeah.
part of that first wave of the Xbox Live Arcade games, if you remember, and
For
that
sure.
was definitely a big deal when that first came out. You know, I remember me and my friends playing Castle Crashers for quite a while right after that came out, and yeah, that game was loads of fun, and I haven't played anything from them since. So
Yeah, you never played Battle Block Theater. That's kind of
no,
crazy. That was
yeah,
also 360 era.
yeah,
It's kind of like
I never got into that one.
Jesus.
Oh boy,
I just threw my phone.
Jesus Christ, Damien, relax.
Yeah, Battle Block Theater was like a platformer.
Yeah.
And it was like co-op and stuff. Like they love co-op, so this game I think is gonna have 4-player co-op as well. I'm so excited. Yeah, I love um their art direction. I love their humor. I mean, this is it's right in the middle of everything though.
Yeah, bad time.
I mean, I just said I named there 4 games within like 2 weeks of each other that I want to play. Now it's 5. Now you just
Yeah.
threw it right before Call of Duty. Are you
Yeah, at
kidding
least
me?
this one would probably be a little bit shorter and stuff like that, a little
And I
cheaper
could
too.
probably
So
wait just a bit to play it, even though I want to play it so bad. Like
yeah,
Call of Duty won't take too long to play. Yeah, I mean, Castle Crashers is not that short of a game, to be honest. Like, it's not super long, but it's
yeah,
not
no.
that short of a
Well,
game.
you can definitely put some hours into that with your
Yeah,
friends. Yeah,
there's a lot of
it's one of
side stuff to do in
those.
that game.
Yeah, yeah,
But
awesome to see. You think these guys would have been bigger throughout the years? You know, with how much of a staple they were in that original Xbox Live Arcade era. You know, it's look at like Playdead now. You know, I know that I feel like we talk about Playdead like every week, and maybe I just got Playdead on my mind with Cocoon and whatnot. But I feel like Playdead's like huge now. You
we
know,
love Playdead.
yeah,
Here.
you know, I feel like maybe that's just like a gaming industry thing where we hear about
It's
Playdead
also
all the
us,
time because
the two of us.
yeah, sure, because Limbo and Inside are so
Yeah.
highly regarded games now. It's you would have thought that the Behemoth would be like a massive studio by now, but
It's probably the critical success, right?
yeah, definitely.
It's probably just like what do you think their highest critical thing is? Is it just Castle Crashers?
It's got to be
probably?
Castle Crashers, yeah.
And then like yeah, that was a long time ago.
Certainly the
But
most
like
talked about game, right?
yeah, I wonder if like they would be willing to be purchased, by
Yeah,
not even
you got to think,
like
right?
they've been in bed with Xbox for a long time, but they do put their things out everywhere. So I'm wondering if like a good fit could be like a Devolver,
Mm.
like go to them. Devolver already kind of has a quirky
They
vibe
could
to
almost
them.
use a publishing arm at least like
Exactly.
that, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Devolver, Annapurna, or something like that,
And
right?
they don't really fit Annapurna to me. That's
Yeah,
why I
they
kind of
don't really tell a story, you know. You need to make
yeah.
people cry to be an Annapurna. Sorry,
You
guys.
do.
Yeah.
If that alien doesn't die at the end of
Yeah.
the game,
Let's give the alien a dog and have the dog die.
no.
Then you could be an Annapurna.
Right
And we'll
in the
get you
opening
a
cutscene.
really high level actor to be a voice in the game as well.
Ooh, yeah.
You know. Fucking
Willem Dafoe again.
yeah, I was gonna say Willem Dafoe. Like, damn, can I think of anyone else besides Willem Dafoe?
Willem
No, I
Dafoe
can't.
voices the dog that dies in the beginning.
Oh no, that's too much. That's too
It's
much.
too
That's,
much.
you're gonna send me into a deep depression. I can't do
Mhm.
that. Can't do that. All right. Well,
Are you gonna play this game?
I don't know
You playing?
what kind of game is it even?
So it's like the original game was like a 2D like platformer, but you can like he had like a gun, like a ray gun you could shoot.
Okay,
So
kind of like a
I'm
running gun
assuming
type of thing.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, but very Castle Crashers kind of like as well,
Okay.
where 2D and stuff like that. Except Castle Crashers was like a beat 'em up with like projectiles. So this is gonna have probably along those lines. Like they have like a short teaser trailer thing, but it doesn't show much.
Yeah, Castle Crashers. I just have so many memories with my friends of that game that like I think I like You
You'd
know,
want to play
I
co-op.
yeah, exactly. Like I don't know if I could go back to Castle Crashers and play it by myself and still have that same level of enjoyment, or even like near that level of enjoyment. So they really are like co-op games to me. At least Castle Crashers was. So yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised they never got around to a Castle Crashers 2. You know, you feel like
Yeah,
that'd be
they haven't
the
really done
big
a
money
sequel.
for them, right?
This is really their first sequel,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
Interesting indeed. All right, well, the Behemoth making moves. I like the quick release. I don't know if they announced this game way earlier.
I don't think that they have. I think
Yeah.
Behemoth's been very quiet for a while.
Okay.
Maybe
Well,
they announced they were
also
working
cool.
on
We're
something.
getting the HD version of the
Yeah,
original
yeah, I'll support
November
them.
1st.
I still, like I said, I still need to play Pit People. I think I own it, but yeah.
Next up, then, the CEO of Unity, John Riccitello.
I think it's
Riccatello.
Riccatello. Yeah.
Riccatello. Okay, you're Italian. You would know. Riccatello stepping down from his role, effective immediately. Immediately.
Get out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. This comes just a few weeks after the company announced a restructuring of its revenue split with developers that use the game engine known as Unity. Daniel, Unity has caught on fire over the past month. It's a shitstorm over there.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a complicated like thing because it's like they kind of shot themselves in the foot. And I know that Riccatello is getting a lot of hate, and it's rightfully so. I'm not here to like say that he doesn't deserve to leave or lose his job or retire, whatever wording they want to use. But he's been there since like 2014. He has really seen the most of the success that Unity has had. He has been there, and he has been in this role. So I know that Unity more recently has gone public. They're not a private company anymore. That might have more to do with what is happening right now than just Riccatello himself. He's probably guiding them to their own demise, but I don't know if Riccatello is the only one to blame. So I don't know if this is necessarily immediately going to 180 Unity and they're just going to be fine again. I don't think that's how that works. Like they're kind of already on the path. Like they can take a lot back, but they've already kind of poisoned the water a bit.
Somebody poisoned the water hole.
Yeah, and I don't know that Riccatello is really the only one just to blame here, even though he's the face and he's the one everyone's taking shots at.
No, certainly not. I mean, you're probably spot on. There's tons of executives and whatnot also making these decisions to change the whole structure into a plan that clearly a lot of developers don't like, right? And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you do here. It doesn't seem like they can afford to completely 180 this thing and just go back to the way it was, right? It seems like Unity did this because they were hurting for money, which every company
For
kind of
sure.
is right now. So I don't think it's in the plans to completely 180 this thing. Maybe they could find some way to work it out with different developers, especially their higher end developers. Like I heard, like the Cult of the Lamb guys are just like, we're gonna close the game down. If
I think that was
as
more
of
of a
January
threat,
1st. Sure, but
but
it's like
I don't know if that was like,
that's like the level of what
yeah,
Unity
for
is
sure.
dealing with there. And Among Us, right? Like
Among Us is
think how huge
huge.
that
Yeah,
game is, right? How much revenue that game brings in monthly on a monthly basis. They're like, we're not fucking doing this because the revenue split is just insane. I don't have the exact details in front of me, but like it was just really unfair to a lot of these guys. So
or even
yeah,
games just starting now that are like ramping up.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like
Well,
some of
those are the
these.
guys getting most fucked, right? Is like,
Yeah,
oh, dude,
exactly.
if you're already what 18 months into developing
Yeah,
a
a
game,
year in.
you got another couple years to go with that. You're completely screwed because you can't just switch engines on the fly like that. So
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. It's a whole
I
thing
mean,
here.
but really, like the solution that they could try to do is like I'm not a developer, so I can't be on the side of the developer and like their perspective and say what they want, but like I guess they should try to be more like Epic, where like they take a percentage after you make a certain amount, right? Like
Yeah.
that's probably the best way to go about it. Is like I know Unity doesn't do that, and like maybe that's what you need to do, and not necessarily um, just doing it for downloads. Because like I don't even know how you can like keep track of that. How do you know that? I don't know
Right.
how do you get that information? Because like I don't think anyone has that information. Any developer, you
There's gotta
know?
be some way, I'd imagine. I don't know. Yeah, there's just probably something in the back end that tells them, But yeah, I don't know. It was a very interesting thing. It's it's not something I'm fully understanding either, right? It's like I'm not a developer either, so I don't really know. I can't fully speak on this either, but it's I don't know. They got to figure out something here, man. Otherwise, Unity is going to end up going away. There's going to just be less and less people using Unity over time, right? It doesn't sound like this deal is necessarily bad for like really small games, right? That don't sell tens of millions of copies or tens of thousands of copies even. So it doesn't sound like necessarily those people would be going away. The two guys in their apartment that just want to make a small game or whatever. It sounds like they'll be fine, but it's just the games that end up being very successful that are getting a horrible revenue split.
Yeah, they're just choking them, right?
Yeah.
I think people also need to understand how much larger Unity is than Unreal. I think people see Unreal and people are like that are follow the industry more, kind of know Unreal and feel like Unreal is like very ubiquitous as of an engine, and that's just not the case.
Yeah.
Just so many more people use Unity
because from what I understand, like if you or I wanted to make a game, we would probably use Unity. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, or something smaller like
Epic
that. We wouldn't use Unreal.
Yeah, for sure. Epic has tried to kind of eke into that a bit with like some like, until you make your first million or something, that's when they start doing stuff like that. Like they try to get, a lot of these smaller people to use it, but like Unity has just been such a for the people for a long time now for the small dev type of engine and like I think it's something like 80 to 20%, 80% Unity to like 20% Unreal. It's like something crazy. Like
that's
that.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's significantly more people use Unity.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see if they try to restructure the plan yet again here. I'd imagine we'll get more news about this before year's end. So
for sure. I mean, they got to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I got to go check something real quick. You can go to the next topic.
Sure thing. Guys, now that I'm alone here, I've been meaning to talk to you. Daniel and Sims are horrible people. I just want you two to know that. Not you two, but them two. They're horrible people. They've been kidnapping pigeons and torturing them together, both of them. Sims is handling the UK portion of the pigeons. Daniel's handling the US portion of the pigeons. There's a whole pigeon epidemic going on right now. We are missing pigeons. Daniel has them all in his basement. I'm trying to put the word out. Hopefully both of them don't see this. But I need cops to head over to Daniel's house immediately. Is he back?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Oh, hi, Daniel. Ubisoft's upcoming multiplayer FPS game, X-Defiant, has indefinitely been delayed. That's all I got. Oof. Daniel.
Oh boy, this game was like just
what is this game? I don't understand this game.
It is basically Call of Duty with like they really plays like Call of Duty. From what I can tell, I have not checked it out. This is the one that has like the different factions from like the other properties. This is the one that has like the faction that looks like Splinter Cell. It has just like a bunch of different factions from all their stuff.
But this is like a Ubisoft game where all the Ubisoft worlds collide.
Yes.
Much like the TV show that I think is coming out this Friday.
So like Rayman's holding like an M16, just like.
That's hot. Yeah. Okay. I like that. Yeah. Well, there's no arms.
Yeah, it's crazy how he holds that M16. It's heavy.
So is this game? Are they just straight up trying to compete with like Battlefield and COD? Because that's kind of what it looks like. Yeah,
I think so. And
it's not like a battle royale structure. No. Is this like a team deathmatch type of thing?
Yeah, I mean they're different modes, and maybe they would do a battle royale if it gets really popular, right? Like because it's like it's a free game.
Yeah.
They're trying to make money, in other ways. And it seems like this is working way more than a lot of like other free to play, which is what I find weird that they're delaying this. So maybe they're kind of reworking a little bit before they want to put the full thing out. I don't think this is like Hyenas like we talked about last week. Was that last week? I think so. Where it's already getting shut down. Yeah, I think it was last week. That Sega game, that extraction shooter that Sega was doing, got shut down. Like they just canceled that game. I don't think this is that. So yeah, I don't know what they're reworking here, but
yeah, it seems like there was a beta or something earlier this year, and people were somewhat positive on it, right?
Pretty positive.
It didn't sound like people were really all that down on it, at least. So Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on here. Why you'd have to delay it indefinitely? Maybe they're having server issues or whatnot. Because was it supposed to release very soon-ish or
I think
what?
so. Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
forget the exact
Well,
date.
that
I
would have
think
been a terrible idea, anyways. Releasing right next to COD.
yeah.
So, good idea.
Maybe
Don't do
save it for
that.
next year, anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do when Apex Legends came out, they did it at a really smart
it's like
time. It was
February or
like,
something.
yeah, that was a really smart time for that. That's when they should have put out Titanfall 2, you fucks. But
We're supposed to be getting
maybe
Titanfall
it wouldn't have
announcement.
fucking failed, you know.
Supposed to be getting that Titanfall announcement in like
Let's
2
not
weeks.
put it
What are you
in the
talking
middle
about?
of COD and Battlefield, you know. Let's not fucking do that, you
Did
know.
you hear about
Jesus
this?
Christ.
That
What
Titanfall
happened?
3 announcement supposed to come out in 2 weeks.
Don't do this.
That's what I said. It's exactly what I said. Don't say
Don't do
that because
this.
that's not
Yeah,
gonna happen.
don't do this. That's not a thing. Don't do this. I can't. I just can't, Daniel. My hope is that the Star Wars game they're working on, the FPS one,
They just sneak
is
Titanfall.
just Titanfall, but in Star Wars. I'm
I
good.
love that.
I'm good.
It's called
you know?
Star Wars Titanfall.
Yeah. We go back. Let me take you to the High Republic era where everyone has force powers and they can run on the walls. And for some reason, we got guns too, you know?
Well, if you remember in Phantom Menace, they have the speed sprint.
There you fucking go. There you fucking just that one part though. Never
Just
again.
that one?
Never.
Never.
Again.
I
It's
don't
like
even think they have any of the animated shows ever done
no.
it. Because I
Clone
don't
Wars
think
never
so.
even fucking did that.
Yeah, I
Like
don't think any of them.
Anakin's sitting there in Clone Wars. Obi-Wan, you ever gonna teach me that run? Shut up, Anakin. Like, oh,
Well, you and Qui-Gon did it.
yeah, everyone gets one. That's what I was.
Yeah.
And you could use it at one time. Obi-Wan used his, you know. He should have used it in A New Hope though, you know. Should have saved it for the end. Just ran to the ship. New Hope's completely different. Let me remake New Hope for you, Disney, because I got some ideas.
Yeah, he could have just saved Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
easily could have used it right then. You know, I would have loved if that's what Anakin should have used when Obi-Wan had the high ground. You know, should just ran
He
up
used
that
the
hill at him.
speed to get behind him.
Yeah, yeah, easy. You know, remember in the Revenge of the Sith game with the alternate ending where he kills Obi-Wan? And then
I did not play that, but I remember you told me this.
Oh yeah, I talk about this all the time. It's the best alternate ending ever. And then Palpatine lands on Mustafar, and then he also kills Palpatine.
Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, this is the world I want to live in.
Yeah, what would happen with Star Wars future after that?
Oh man, who knows? Yeah, nothing good. There would be no Empire because Anakin
Yeah.
wouldn't have gave a fuck about that in that moment.
For sure.
You know, yeah, everything probably would have been pretty peaceful actually. You know.
Eventually he would have died, but somebody would have killed him.
Well, I'd imagine Anakin would just, you know, he'd take Padme and they'd just like go live on like Naboo.
She's
or
dead.
Not at that point. Oh no, she would have been dead earlier too.
That would have happened before that.
He could have saved her.
I don't know about that.
He could have saved her. I can save her.
I can save her. Liar.
What the fuck were you talking about? Oh, yeah, Ubisoft's X-Defiant.
We're talking about Star Wars Titanfall.
That's
first person.
I really hope that's good. By the way,
it's Respawn. They haven't missed yet.
They haven't missed. They don't miss. You know.
They haven't.
They don't miss.
It sucks that Stig isn't there. I'm still sad about that.
Yeah, it's upsetting. Yeah, I wonder what the plan is with the third one now. You know, they got to be moving along with the third one, but it's just
there's a lot of other people there, but it just sucks. Like I liked Stig.
Yeah, I did too. Someone's got to pick him up eventually. I really hope with the third one, man, because it's just like people seem to not want to give Jedi Survivor its flowers just because of how it launched, which is fair, I guess. But it's
we'll give it its flowers.
I'm gonna give it its fucking flowers because that game is fucking fantastic and
yeah,
utterly fantastic. And it just seems like they should have launched now. You know, when they had that 60 FPS patch ready to go. They should have done that. Like I don't understand why
should have came out in August.
They could have just done November again. They did November of Jedi Fallen Order. You should have just done November of Jedi Fallen Survivor again. You know, you should have just done that, and it would have been a good time too. I mean, obviously,
there's
all
nothing
the
really
big games.
Mid-November, right?
No, and you're Star Wars, so who gives a fuck, you know?
Yeah, you're going to sell. The only thing that's going to compete is Call of Duty.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Maybe Hogwarts, that's going to be up there, but Star Wars, that's going to be one of the best.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it still would have sold. You know, it doesn't matter what it comes out around. So like, you guys could have easily delayed it, and it came out fine. And just give Respawn the time with the third one is all I'm saying. You know, don't make them.
I mean, to be fair to them too, they turned that game around. We talked about this.
No, in an impressively quick time.
So
3.5 years for that type of game is very
impressive.
impressive. But you
Yeah.
see what happens, right? Is it didn't launch right, and
Yeah.
they needed another 6 months, and they could have done 4 years exactly, and that's still pretty fucking quick for
And
a
that
game
is
like
what,
that,
yeah, and that is
you
also
know.
quick.
And it would have been fine, but now everyone's just talking shit about it, you know. And it was a great game, it really was. Awesome story, fucking loved it.
Yeah, it's gonna be in our top 10 for sure.
Oh, for sure. Speaking of Disney and EA, let me click in here. Bob Iger's deputies tried to push Iger in a new direction. They want Disney to become a gaming giant rather than licensing out their IPs. One way would be an acquisition like EA, they suggested. Iger is said to be non-committal to this new direction people seem to
Yeah,
want to go in.
I
Daniel,
think the
very
more
interesting.
interesting thing here is like not necessarily like the purchase of EA, because like I don't know. I mean, that's something we could talk about too. But I think the more interesting thing is like the licensing out the games to like what they used to do was a lot of in-house stuff. You
Hmm.
know, like they own, like LucasArts and all that. So like they used to do a lot in-house. I mean, they would partner with people, obviously with like BioWare and stuff, but um, it did do in-house things, and it's like they themselves went away from that, um, and then now went back to like, or they went to like more partnerships, and that's all they did was partnerships. So that now they want to try to bring it more in-house, but like I don't really like Bob Iger at all, but I understand maybe why he would be hesitant a bit, and maybe I'm giving him too much credit, but it, I don't know if these other executives understand. You have to like, this is the Amazon problem. It takes a lot to make a video game, especially if you're building from the ground up and you're trying to start up studios and you want to build it all in house. That takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of manpower, and a lot of people, and a lot of money. To be fair, Disney has a lot of money, but it takes a lot to do. It takes years and years to get going. Like you could start planning for that now if you wanted to, but the partnerships are a little bit easier to do. You could just partner with, I don't know, BioWare or whatever, Respawn, EA, because they have stuff. Ubisoft with Outlaw, or Outlaws. Like that's just easier to do. So I understand why you'd want to build it in house, but I don't know if they understand what it takes to do that. It's like Amazon's still struggling a bit, and they've actually put out games already. Some mixed stuff. Some people like their things that they put out, but like they've struggled a bit. Like they almost put out a game and canceled it with Crucible. Was that what it was called? Something like that.
Crucible? I don't. Are you talking about the MMO? I remember like New World.
No, this was one of their
Crucible.
first games that they like even had like a beta for, and then they just axed it all. This
Yeah,
is
I
one of
don't
their
even remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, this was a long time ago.
No, you're definitely right with the starting up your own developers and studios and stuff like that, and then trying to raise that stuff from the ground up and then do that. With this, if they did purchase EA, that'd be a bit different because they already have stuff on track and in the process of being developed. Disney related stuff too. We got that Black Panther game, we got that Iron Man game, tons of Star Wars games through
Disney stuff.
Respawn, stuff like that. So they already are almost there. Like if they did purchase EA, I wouldn't see much changing in terms of like these developers are already working on Disney stuff. So it's like, maybe they cancel a few things here and there and just have every team working on that. Like I could see a world where
Sports
obviously.
games, Disney games.
Exactly. And
Exactly.
they own ESPN too, so the sports games kind of tie into that as well, right? It's like, okay, ESPN, Madden, FIFA, those kind of go hand in hand, right? It's
Yeah.
I think why I don't want to see this happen, I think it makes sense the most to purchase EA if they were going to go out and purchase a big developer like that or a big publisher like that rather. Yeah, I definitely think it would make the most sense cuz EA is
I mean,
already
they're
like halfway
American.
there, right?
Yeah, they're American, so I guess that makes sense. American company, American company. Like,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I, I don't even know what to think about Disney buying EA. Like, that's just, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it depends. Like, what would change exactly? I would need to hear the whole plan. It's like because right now, I wouldn't see much changing if they purchased EA right now today. I think it'd just be all things as normal. Now they're just
Yeah,
a different company owning EA, right?
yeah, yeah. Because they're already trying to do like a whole bunch of Battlefield stuff now, right?
Yeah,
Like they got
and EA it seems like EA doesn't have really any interest anymore, especially after Immortals of Avram ended up failing like that. I don't see EA having much of an interest in making new single player games, unfortunately. New IP single player games. You
You
know,
don't think they're going to keep that Originals brand?
maybe, but that didn't do too well either with what was the
But
game? Well, Wild Hearts. Wild Hearts didn't do super well. You know, that didn't
yeah,
catch
but
the
that's where
world
you
on
got to
fire.
try stuff. But then you get like Hazelight, right?
Sure, Hazelight
Hazelight,
definitely did. I mean,
all their stuff
critically
hit.
at least, right? With
I think
It
It
Takes
Takes Two
Two
sold
and stuff
well.
like that. Do they officially own Hazelight? They bought them, right?
Hey, that's a great question.
Yeah, because I don't know if like their
Um,
deals up with Hazelight or anything, but
I know that they're under that Originals brand,
yeah.
but that's a good
I'm
question
not
though.
saying they won't try stuff here and there, but I think Immortals of Averum is really going to be the thing that EA can now point at and be like, "See, we tried to make one, you guys didn't buy it," you know, and which is unfortunate, right?
I
But
hope that that's more of they just look at like
I
the
guess all I'm
budget.
trying to say is I wouldn't be too disappointed if Disney did buy EA because I think all we're gonna get from EA on the single player side of stuff I personally would want to play is superhero games and Star Wars games, anyways.
Battlefield.
And Battlefield too. Yeah, Battlefield's a good point. I don't personally want to play Battlefield, but I mean maybe I don't know. You show me a cool single player for Battlefield,
Yeah, no,
maybe I'll
yeah.
jump into that. But yeah, all I'm saying is like I think EA is gonna stick with Disney as much as they possibly can anyway. So if Disney wants to buy them, yeah, sure, fuck it, why not?
Yeah, that's true. I would just hope that I don't know. I want some of these teams to have more freedom. Like I know that Motive is like they're moving on from that Dead Space remake to the Iron Man game, but it's like after that, maybe it'd be cool if they did more Dead Space stuff. But they probably wouldn't if Disney they just make more Iron Man or another,
Yeah,
you know,
it's just I can't imagine because that Iron Man game, even if it's bad, is gonna sell what
better than the Dead Space
a few
remake.
million copies at least. You know,
Yeah.
even if it's bad, like it could be a horrible game and it would sell way more in the Dead Space remake. Same thing with the Black Panther games. Same thing with every Star Wars game, right? So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would be worried about the IP that EA owns that I love. You know, your Mass Effects, your Titanfalls, stuff like that. I would definitely be worried about those IPs if Disney did purchase them because I don't see Disney being like, yeah, get ahead BioWare, make another Mass Effect game. You know, I mean, I know they currently are making the Mass Effect game, and I'd assume that would come out no matter what because they're so far in the process of
Same with
developing it.
Dragon Age. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Well, Dragon Age is imminent now. I mean, not
Yeah.
imminent, but I would
Next year
expect that
probably.
game to be next year, right? Yeah. So there's no way those two games would end up getting canceled because that'd just be too much money in the tank. But
Yeah, too far along for sure.
after that, I would definitely be worried. I could definitely see a world where Disney, if they did purchase EA, telling BioWare, "No, you guys are gonna make a KOTOR game," you know, or something like that. You know, it's fuck this Mass Effect, the
The new
Dragon
High
Age shit.
Republic game,
Yeah,
whatever.
something like that, right? It's I definitely wouldn't see a world if Disney did purchase EA that they'd let other studios make things that aren't a big Disney property. Because that's just what Disney does, man. You know, you look at Disney Plus, it's just Star Wars and Marvel. It's just a new show every week. And while I do definitely enjoy that, I would like to see something new out of Disney now and
Yeah.
then, right? Other than these horrible live action remakes of their old classic cartoon movies and just Star Wars and Marvel, right? I would definitely like to see something else, but yeah, I don't know. Disney's in a very odd place right now because they are losing money left and right.
Yeah.
The Disney Plus thing is not working out as well as they would have hoped. I'm sure it's they seem to have trouble keeping subscribers. Seem to have trouble getting an audience. Like there's always going to be an audience for Marvel and Star Wars stuff, but it's definitely falling off more and more as this goes on, especially on the MCU side. Like look how few people watch the Secret Invasion, you know, stuff like that. And
I'm just from my personal case, I'm just behind in all that anyways.
yeah,
I'm still want to watch that stuff. I'm just behind.
it's just
But
crazy because like Secret Invasion, it felt like that was like a very hype thing before all
yeah.
these TV shows even started. Like how awesome did that sound? A Samuel Jackson TV show, Secret Invasion, spy thriller thing in the MCU. No one cared. No one cared when it came out, you know. And then same thing with like Ahsoka, you know, I loved it, but not a lot of people came
I'm
and
so
tuned in for
disappointed I'm
this.
not there yet.
It,
I'm not there yet. I need to
it was really good, Danny. You
I'm just
really gotta
behind,
watch it.
man. I'm just behind.
Um, but yeah, it's just you know they're falling off and they're not able. It's just too much for people. I think you know it's too much Marvel and too much Star Wars, and not everyone's gonna want to be a super nerd and keep up with all of it. You know,
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
and that would be the worry on the video game side too, right? It already feels like we get a lot of Star Wars and Marvel games, right? And
I mean, and we haven't even really started because they
Yeah,
just
we haven't
announced
even
all this
really
more.
started, and there's gonna be more and more of that. And I would worry if I was Disney if you did purchase EA of like, okay, are we gonna overflood the market here at some point with all these superhero and Star Wars games?
Yeah, for sure. I think that we just don't need to get fatigue in the game and the game side because I don't want to hear about the fatigue.
Yeah, and like, I wonder with me personally, like, would I get sick of Star Wars games at some point? Obviously, I wouldn't play all of them. Like, I never played like Squadrons, and it's like, if you guys make
It's
games
cool
in
the game
different
exists though.
genres, yeah, it's cool it exists, but like, I never played it, so it's like, I wonder if I could even get to a point where like I'm like, I don't even want to play this one, even if they did make a Star Wars game that would appeal to me, like a traditional Jedi or whatever, any type of Star Wars game, and I wonder if I would get to a point where I'm like, you know what, I'm good because I just played a Star Wars game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Even though I'd probably want to check out most of them, if not all of them.
Yeah, it's
But
just hard for me to even imagine a world where I see a Star Wars game that would traditionally appeal to me, Like
me too.
like Outlaws. I think that game looks fucking awesome, right? But like if I had 3 games like that in the last like 2 years, would I be that excited for Outlaws,
It might lose a
It's
little of that luster.
right, exactly. I wonder if I could even get to that point. Or on the Marvel side too. I feel like every Marvel game would appeal to me, but like could I even get to a point where I'm just like, oh, this new fucking Wolverine game. I'm just like, I just played 3 Marvel games, and I'm good as well.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe they'll just have more variety, and that would help. Like Midnight Suns is a strategy game, right? Then you have your more traditional,
That's what helps so much
linear
with video
narrative.
games, right? Is like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
hard to get fatigued on stuff in video games when everything's in a different genre.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. With a show or a movie, it's like I mean, you're just kind of watching it. I mean,
Right,
you get different
exactly. It's
genres of
it's a
movies, but
movie or a show, right?
it's not
Yeah.
interactive. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It is a very interesting point. And then another thing I would be very worried about is taking the IPs away from other developers. I don't just want to see these studios at EA work on Marvel and Star Wars stuff. We just got out of this with Star Wars, really, right? Like there was that whole 10-year deal with EA with Star Wars. I know they cut it off early, but we're just getting to a point where it seems like other companies are able to make Star Wars games. We haven't even really got one yet outside of EA. We're just getting one with the Star Wars Outlaws from Ubisoft, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the next big one. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
and I would care if well, I guess I don't know who knows what's going on with the Spider-Man rights, right? But like I would be worried if they take that away from PlayStation and Insomniac and it's like, "Oh, okay, no more Spider-Man games from them." And EA Studio is now making a Spider-Man
I
game.
would, I would hope that it would be more. That I don't know if this would ever happen. This is just me big dreaming, right? I'd hope that Disney would get way more like, okay, Insomniac, PlayStation, keep making all your stuff, but you're gonna do the same thing that we saw you did this little deal over here with the MLB and the show. You're gonna do that, but you're gonna put it everywhere.
Mm,
So we're gonna have you put Spider-Man on Switch, Xbox, PC, all at the same time.
you don't want a Switch version of
I'm just throwing it out there
that.
because they did the Switch version
Sure.
for the show, but do something like that. Like then it's like, okay, yeah, you still have it's still PlayStation developed, but it's everywhere now.
Yeah.
Like I think that's maybe they could do something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, my worry is just taking it away from good developers and that people that want to work on stuff with your IP. It doesn't even necessarily have to be PlayStation and Insomniac or whatever. Whoever the hell else is working on Marvel games right now. We know Bethesda's also working on something Disney related too, right? I mean, they have the Indiana Jones thing, but like like that too. I would hate for that to be taken away.
Yeah,
Now an EA studio has to make Indiana
maybe
Jones,
again
right?
with what I just said about PlayStation, maybe they do with Xbox. That's like, oh, machine games. Maybe we're gonna have you
But
keep
could
making
you
that,
see
put it
Disney
out
even
everywhere.
doing that with if they did purchase EA and they were like, "Hey, we want to become a gaming giant," Because in my mind, it wouldn't be we're licensing out these IP anymore. It's we're making all of them in house.
And those other executives want to do that, but
Yeah,
I don't know. Again, I go back to what I said at the top. I think that they underestimate how much manpower, money, and time it takes to do that.
yeah. If I was them, I would purchase, and they really want to do this, I would purchase EA and Ubisoft. Have all that shit. You
Oof.
like
I
that's a
mean,
lot, but it's
you're talking
also
about
just
getting
like
to those regulators,
it's
right?
like,
Like
hey, shit, you got some fucking you got
somehow
some
they weaseled their
studios
way to
then,
get Fox, right?
right? Oh,
Maybe
they
they
could
could
do
weasel.
it.
Maybe Disney could weasel their way and get both EA and Ubisoft. And
Yeah.
then it's like, is everyone that complained about Xbox and Activision, you gonna go complain about that too? Then you better, you better. I want to hear you complaining about that, please. Complain about that too.
I mean, they probably will. Someone will complain.
I mean, that's true. That's
Could you imagine though? You're walking around Disney World and you see fucking Ezio walking around with his hood.
it's funny. I was thinking Sam Fisher, like
Oh
choking
yeah,
a dude out,
it's just choking
like
out
choking
your,
a kid,
just
choking out a
choking
child.
out some random dad. Like what the fuck?
He's like drinking a beer.
That'd be fun. The Mass Effect ride at Disney World. You know what? I'm changing my mind on this. Might be into
What happens
this.
at the end of that ride?
Bum 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 bum. That's the death noise in the Mass Effect.
I wasn't thinking death. I was thinking like, I don't know.
You get one of three choices in the ending.
Yeah,
and they're
that's kind of
all
what I was thinking.
they're all the
Like,
same thing except different colors.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. Is like the ending is it's just
It has awesome
colors.
DLC though that no one played.
True, it's very true.
That'd be a lot of properties though. They would get Tom Clancy, a whole Disney World section with Tom Clancy.
Oh, they get the Division. So when you go into Disney, they give everyone the flu.
Oh, that'd be
The
cool.
dollar.
I mean, you're gonna get that anyways, right?
You're gonna get it anyways. We're
You're
just
gonna
gonna call
get it
it the dollar
anyways, yeah.
flu.
I don't think I've ever been to Disney World and not gotten sick, so all right, well, we'll keep an eye on this. I highly doubt it's gonna happen, but I don't know. I don't know if Disney has to make some sort of move here because they really are losing a ton of fucking money right now. So yeah, I don't know. Something interesting to keep an eye on. Yeah. Sort of outside the world of games. We'll now move on to what we've been playing. Daniel, what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? I'll talk about Cocoon with you because I know you've been playing that. Yeah. I've only put a little bit of time into it, but we could talk about Cocoon then. The only other game I've been playing, been kind of I put Sea of Stars just a bit on ice. I'm gonna come back to that. Same with Starfield. Both those two are just like I'm gonna get back to both of them. But I've played, if I'm gonna guess, maybe 4 hours of El Paso Elsewhere.
Ooh.
Which is a game that looked really cool. I remember when it got announced. I think it was in an Xbox thing.
Yeah, I do remember the trailer. It's like it had like a voiceover, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
like
narrated very
cool
much like
voiceover.
Max Payne.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember where exactly. Is it a Devolver Digital game? Is that what this is? No. Did they publish this? Maybe it was at one of those. I don't know. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
But yeah, so it's basically a indie developed game. It's very Max Payne like in its gameplay. You third person shooter, different weapons. You're kind of going level to level, killing like vampires and demons and stuff. It is narrated like it has cutscenes but the whole game is just narrated very much like Max Payne, voiceover, really awesome voice. It's funny, like the main character, his name is James Savage, which is a pretty cool name.
Last name.
James Savage, very cool name. He's very similar to Max Payne. He is addicted to painkillers and he's an alcoholic.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That he's just Max Payne.
Hell yeah.
The cover is him like holding two pistols, like very, very Max Payne.
We all know drug and alcohol addiction is badass, right?
Hey kids, painkillers and alcohol.
It's a combo.
Yep. Yeah, and the gameplay I think is very fun. I really love playing the game. The story is pretty interesting. If I were to give like a basic premise, you are kind of in this place called like the Void, I think is what it's called, and you're on this like elevator, and every level is basically a level on the elevator.
Okay.
So you're like going down, and you're playing a level. But the level design itself, I don't think it's bad. It's pretty repetitive. Like there's a ton of levels. I'm like maybe halfway through the game, I think, and I think I've done probably 30 to 40 levels already. They're not super long. They're pretty short and
yeah, like how long is a level? Would you say in like minutes? Or seconds
They
if you want.
vary. They vary. It's
Okay.
not neon white. You're not like you're not like I'm trying to go through. You're doing things. You're usually trying to kill people, and then there are
It's not like a speed trial. Yeah.
no,
Okay.
and you're killing all the vampires and the werewolves and stuff
Is it
and the
almost like a
demons.
horde mode each level?
Kinda
Kinda.
like you're
Like
killing the
clear out the room
things.
type thing.
Clear out the room, clear out the area. You get like it's kind of like Doom like where you get like instead of keys, it's like a skull, and the skull will you basically unlock a
Oh,
door.
that's
So
cool.
stuff like that. So you have to go find it to get to the next thing. Then there are also these like innocent people to save. They're kind of like hover it over, and you walk up to them, and you hold X, you get them and stuff. Um, and yeah, the levels just get a little repetitive. There's kind of like a few different types of levels design that I've gotten so far. Like I've gotten like a kind of more buildings and stuff. And then I've gotten there was one that was more like I think it was like an Egyptian city. It was kind of like open-ish, weird thing for
What
a
is
little
in
bit.
this building?
Well, we're in the void.
Okay.
So it's
Anything could go
all
down to the
yes,
void. Gotcha.
exactly.
Okay.
That's how they get around it. So there's like normal buildings and stuff, and then like yeah, the next little sections of levels were kind of like open-ish, kind of you could see the sky more, and it was like Egyptian. And then now I'm in like a graveyard area, so it's open with like graveyard stuff. That's been like the coolest one so far. The first one feels very Max Payne-y with buildings and stuff,
Right.
and then after that they kind of changed it up a bit.
Typical New York warehouse look.
More indoor apartment look
Indoor apartment. Okay,
ish,
gotcha.
if you can kind of picture that, not necessarily
Sure.
warehouse, but um, yeah, but the level design's a little repetitive. You kind of get it feels like they kind of procedurally made the level, so maybe it changes it up a bit. I don't know. I don't think it's procedural in like they're going to be different for me and you. You know what I mean? But I mean procedural in how they develop them.
Oh,
Similar
gotcha.
assets, and then kind of use them to make the levels, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Um, they have like every time you get to a level, it's like they have a word, and it's very like control, where it's like boom, and it's
Oh,
bold
that's
white
cool. I
font.
love
So
that.
it's always cool.
Yeah.
Uh, the music's great. Yeah, I think it's a great game. I'm definitely gonna beat it. I don't think it's super long, and I'm I'm pretty curious in the story. Like basically, like the if I'm gonna just give the rough premise, you are going to your girlfriend is trying or ex-girlfriend is trying to end the world. She's a vampire and she's trying to end the world. And the void that you're in is kind of like the in between, like kind of like I guess the you know hell and you know earth or whatever. So you're kind of in there trying to stop her from ending the world. So a lot of the narration is kind of what's happening now, things he's going through. There are some like things about talking to the past and their relationship. Um, you get there are like little Easter eggs in the levels. Like one's like a little radio that just has like a little radio show, kind of funny. And then there's one you get like reels, like a movie reel, and that tells a lot of the story, like past stuff of like one was like they're in a graveyard and talking about her being a vampire and if he'd still love her and stuff like that. Um, it's a it's a
He
very
asked him that.
yeah.
I'm like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. What do you mean you're a vampire?
Yeah. I mean, no, he was way more accepting, but
Was he? Okay. I mean, hey, James Savage. I mean, yeah, I guess he could get down with a fucking vampire.
yeah, it's. I actually think that
Is she trying to end the world because they broke up?
no,
No. Okay.
they haven't really gone a lot into that, and there's like
Maybe
another
that's the
guy that
reason.
might be
That'd be a cool
pulling.
reason.
There's like another guy that seems like might be actually pulling strings, but
Tequila.
no,
I'm
her
distracted under
name.
vampires.
It's funny you said that because she has like a different name. Her name's like her name was is like that she used as like the human name was like Janet something, but her like actual vampire name is Dracula,
Ooh,
which is pretty
see,
cool.
it all comes together. All
Dracula is a
comes
really
together.
cool
There
name.
you go. There you go. So
Um,
James Savage is Van Helsing, pretty much.
if you fuse Max Payne in no, yeah,
No, okay.
but he's not really like a hunter like that, I don't think. But
Not yet.
yeah, I
The
think that the
sequel.
narrative is actually surprisingly
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
intriguing,
Yeah.
especially with a lot of his voiceover, and he's like how he's dealing with a lot of stuff. Um, and it's very good dialogue. Like it's surprisingly good dialogue for an indie game like this. Like I wouldn't expect it.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's not a it's a pretty cheap game. I'm not sure exactly
Was it on
the
Game
price.
Pass? Was that was this
It's
one?
not.
No.
I
Okay,
paid for it.
gotcha. How
I
much
think
was
it's like
it?
20 or 25.
Oh, that's not bad.
But it's pretty long. So like I've put already 4 hours. I think I'm only like halfway.
No,
So I think it's like
decent length then, right?
7-8 hours or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get a lot out of it. A lot of different weapons and stuff. Um, I just got an Uzi. The Uzi feels real good.
You can like double wield weapons, dual wield.
No, it's the
No.
weapon's the weapon, but
Okay,
like
gotcha.
the pistols are dual wield.
The pistols are dual.
When he's doing that, he's doing dual pistols. Yeah, you can't like.
You do like the classic like jump shit, slow motion.
Oh yes,
and all that. Yeah,
it is very
that's
Max
cool.
Payne-y. You have a meter for slow motion. You have a dodge. You could do.
How's it feel like the gunplay?
Very good.
Very good.
It feels very good. Cool. Very, very good. Especially if you. I feel like the controls. It's probably better on PC. Because it's very, it's very flippy and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's very good on a controller. You could just dodge without. You could do that the dodge jumps and stuff without doing slow motion if you wanted. So if you like that, you could just be diving all the time and shooting. The enemy design, I think where I am now is getting it's better. It took a while for it to start like getting a few more enemy types. It took multiple levels for it to really like. All right, now I'm getting someone that can shoot a projectile at me, and want me to dive more. Like, a lot of it was these like basic-ish vampires, and then like these werewolf things that jump at you. It's like it was just kind of those two for a while, but I'm starting to get a few more now. But yeah, check it out. It's a great game.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I didn't even realize it came out until I think you said something in the Discord like last week. So
yeah, I think it's been out for a couple weeks now. Definitely, it seems to be overlooked just a bit. Maybe just because how many games are out.
Yeah,
but
man. That is this year, right?
Yeah, this is going to be up there. I think for me for this year. Cool. I would think. Maybe it wouldn't crack top 10 quite. I'll have to kind of see.
Indie game though, right? Like
for sure, indie game. Maybe gameplay. For us, maybe music for us. Maybe if we're doing like 20, this is going to be in my top 20 for sure. Especially with me not like playing as much this year as I did like the last couple years. But yeah, this is a game not to miss. I would say if you could find time to even just check it out, I'd say just check it out.
Cool. Sounds dope.
Yeah.
I have been playing. What have I been playing?
Cocoon.
Well, right? We can start with Cocoon.
I played like an hour of Cocoon.
Cool. I beat Cocoon.
Sweet.
Probably like I don't know how long it was. 5.5, I'd say 6-ish.
Okay.
Maybe a bit less. I've seen like 4 to 6. I don't know.
4 to 6.
Seen different people go. I don't know. It varies. However long it takes you to figure out these fucking puzzles. That's how long it fucking takes you. Yeah, I love this game, man. It was awesome. I had such a great time with this. It is such a unique puzzle game, and just the way it makes you think. It was. I had a really weird sensation with this game, in like probably towards like the very end. Like the last puzzle was such like a weird thing for me, where like I just almost instinctually knew what to do, but I couldn't explain what to do. Like I was just doing it, and I was like, I couldn't even tell you exactly how I'm doing this right now, but I know exactly what to do. And that was like a very weird moment for me, where I had like a very surreal moment with myself, where I was like,
yeah,
how do I know how to do this? But so anyway, the base of the game is you are playing through these different levels with different types of puzzles. And what ends up happening is you go into different levels through different orbs.
You put orbs in the thing. And,
you put orbs in a locked structure, and then you're able to go inside that orb, and that orb itself is an entire level within itself, right? And it's weird how this game is like so linear, but it feels like it shouldn't be at the same time. Like it feels like you could
pop back and
forth. It feels like you should be able to just pop out and back and forth, and that you'd almost like get lost. But they do a really good job of like blocking you off from going backwards
I think you
or
kind of
blocking
have to,
you.
so you're not.
Yeah, or blocking you from going forward, and that just makes it like super easy because it could be very easy in this game to think that you're missing something. Like it could be very easy to think like, oh, I need to go back to this other world because I can't figure out what they do here, so I'm clearly missing something. But they very purposefully block you from being able to do stuff like that, just so you don't get confused. And I think that's why this game probably ended up taking so long to make, because I feel like we heard about this game for a very long time, and
Couple
for
years now.
yeah, for as short as it is, 6-ish hours or whatever, you would think that they'd be able to make this game quick, but I think they had to go through a huge testing period of
For
blocking
sure.
people from
Yeah.
going back and forth in these, because it could be so easy to break this game. It would feel like it's almost like Tears of the Kingdom in that way, where it's like,
Oh, they must. Yeah.
not that they're similar games at all, but like that, like you guys had to test the shit out of this game so people don't break it, right? Or
Yeah,
so that
definitely.
people don't get confused and lost and end up hating this game. And yeah, it was just a really fucking awesome experience like that. It's like I said, towards the end, man, where you were just jumping in and out of these different levels, and like what ends up happening is each of the orbs get their own special ability. Like so like the orange one eventually gets where it reveals platforms that
Yes,
like
I have that. Yeah,
yeah,
I
so
saw
like the
that.
orange ball eventually reveals platforms that you can walk on, but you have to be carrying the orange ball. So they're like invisible platforms that appear when you're holding the orange ball, and then you can move forward through different levels and other places with that orange ball. The purple one ends up doing the same thing with like platforms and stuff like that. So they all got their own like little ability, and then you end up kind of combining all those towards the end to move forward in like every
Hmm.
different level. So that's kind of what I was saying with like by the end of it, I almost just like instinctually knew what to do because I knew, oh, I gotta go into this level and use this ability, but I gotta get that orb into this and
Well,
then
they
bring the
trained you.
other one out. Yeah, they like train you. Yeah, it was just a really weird thing by the end of it, and I really love like the atmosphere of this game too. It's very it almost reminded me of that Scorn game, just with like how alien everything feels.
Yeah, it's
Obviously,
like
that Scorn game was very inspired by Alien, the movie
it's like there's
franchise.
tech mixed with like organic
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah, yeah,
and they
yeah, yeah,
kind of
yeah.
shove them into that.
So you
Yeah.
see what I mean with Alien, right? Like it just feels like super weird like that. So I just ended up really loving the atmosphere and all the different colors and stuff like that were really cool. It was yeah, it was a really unique experience, and I ended up just loving the game by the time I put it down.
I guess I could tell you kind of where I am or where I got to is the second boss that tells you how far I you think I am.
Are
But
you in the green world?
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So there's
Um.
5 of those in all. There's 5 bosses in all, and then
Okay, so I got pretty far.
yeah, 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 yeah. Like I said, it's not a long game. I mean, you probably played like what 2 hours ish, maybe a
I mean, I
little
think I
bit
only played like
less.
an hour.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think you get the second one pretty quickly, just so you
Okay.
you have to at least have two, so you can
Okay.
use
Yeah. Yeah.
everything, right? But
Yeah.
yeah.
The
Sorry,
the
continue.
bosses really, I think that is what soured me.
Interesting.
I did not have fun with the first boss very much, even though it wasn't that hard. And then the second boss, I did not have any fun with, and I was just like, okay, I got El Paso elsewhere already downloaded. I'm gonna just pop into this. So I don't know. I just did not. I didn't want that for the game. I wanted it to be a puzzle game. I did not want combat in this game.
Yeah, it's interesting you thought it was so combat heavy because I never really found the boss fights to be like fights, They were mostly just puzzles that you just kind of had to
They
think
are,
about. The boss
yeah,
fights, they do get a bit they are way more you have to use reaction time and stuff like that, just to get past them, right? Or like you have to get your timing really right, with certain things in the boss fight. So it's not like full puzzles. I know what you mean. I could see why you'd get
yeah.
frustrated, but it's not like you're like shooting a gun or hitting it or anything. There
No,
was the
yeah.
one where you're like throwing something at it, right? And you gotta like time that. They reminded me a lot of like an end of a dungeon in like a Zelda game or something like that,
Yeah, but Zelda
without
is
the hack
also
and
about
slash.
combat.
Yeah,
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 Zelda is
yeah.
about the
Take
combat.
away the combat and then just have the puzzle element to a
Yeah.
typical Zelda dungeon game like that, and that's basically what they are.
I think what I was looking for in Cocoon was, you know, not that we're comparing it to Playdead. I wanted it to be a puzzle game. I didn't really. I know that we just we were just talking like that it wasn't pure combat because you're not really like you don't have a sword or something or you're not just jumping on something's head. But like I just wanted that mechanic of just doing the stuff. That's all I wanted the game to be a puzzle, just that puzzle. But
I would say it is for 90% of it.
yeah, maybe it was just that particular fight. I just wasn't having fun.
Yeah, it sounds like that fight just really threw you off.
I
Yeah,
think it did.
I actually really enjoyed the boss fights for the most part. I thought there was a really clever mechanic in each of them that you kind of had to get past. But yeah, they don't stick out to me as like the best thing in the game. But I had a fun time with them.
Yeah, it's great. I love that this game exists, and love that it's yeah, it's so critically successful. Like it reviewed very well.
Yeah, it is
Hopefully it
very
sells
high up
well.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. It is. I did play it through Game Pass, so it's on Game Pass as well.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
they silently released it on everything. I saw it up on PlayStation, and I was like, oh, I thought this was an Xbox exclusive, but no, it came
Their
to
marketing was
PlayStation day
through
one.
Xbox.
Yeah. It
So
was interesting. It almost seemed like they didn't even say that it was coming to PlayStation, because I never saw that anywhere before the game released. But yeah. So
and I
I
think
ended
a
up.
lot of that is I think that it just feels like everyone at Playdead that was at Playdead just has an Xbox lean to them. Because like think about all the games that we've gotten from ex Playdead people. Somerville felt also just like it was marketed by Xbox. Planet of Lana also felt like it was marketed by Xbox, and so was Cocoon. Those are all ex Playdead people. So it just feels like if
And those
they
two were Xbox exclusive or timed
yeah for a little bit
exclusive
yeah.
for a period of time. Yeah.
So it feels like anyone that was connected to Playdead maybe just kind of has more of an allegiance to Xbox.
Yeah. This makes me wonder what is going on with actual Playdead, you know.
Where is that space game?
I'm so curious. I'm curious if
Been
Playdead's even
years.
Playdead anymore with how many people it seems that have left,
It's
you
a
know.
great question.
Yeah, like I'm curious, like, is that game in trouble, or whatever game they're working on, is that in trouble? What does their next game even look like? Have all the good developers just left? You know, it's a very good question, because this guy was the lead game designer on Playdead, the guy that
Yeah.
made Cocoon, and you could tell because the design is fantastic. What Cocoon doesn't have is the cool story implications that Limbo and Inside kind of have. You know, they
Even
don't.
by
They're
the end, no spoilers,
even
but
by
even
the
by
end,
the
like
end,
I couldn't
yeah.
tell you if there's like some type of meaningful message at the end of Cocoon or anything like that. Maybe there is, and it just completely went over my head. But I definitely didn't find any of
There
that
wasn't
sort of
a lot
stuff in
of
there.
storytelling just even through the world
No,
that you got
I
through.
didn't see anything where I was
Interesting.
like, huh.
That's
Yeah,
kind of disappointing.
it
I was hoping
definitely
that the end would
wasn't
have.
like, yeah, like, oh, hey, I went through a little journey with this bug at the end of it. It was just kind of just like, oh, I just played a really awesome puzzle game, you know. It wasn't.
Interesting. That
Yeah.
feels disappointing to me.
Yeah, and I wonder if that has to do with this guy being the lead game designer and
Yeah.
not the guy doing the story stuff, you know.
Maybe their next project. I forget. Do you know the name of this dev that did
I
Cocoon?
do not know. I could look.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be curious what this dev is and what they'd work on next. Because like maybe that's the next step for this team is like, oh, we just nailed perfect. Like everyone loved our game design. Now let's take it to the next level. Let's have like maybe hire like one guy to like write a story for them or something. You know, hire like or maybe a couple people
Yeah, it's
make
interesting
a
because it's
story.
not like the Playdead games, Limbo and Inside, have a story. I mean, they do, but it's not like it's like in your face and like dialogue and telling you what's
Sounds like it's
going
way more
on.
upfront
Yeah,
than this
but it is way more of a story than Cocoon was, to me at least, you know.
for sure. Yeah,
Uh, Geometric Interactive is their name.
interesting. Okay,
Yeah. So first game out
keep
of
that
them.
name in my head.
Took a while to go on. Love the graphics though in this game. Just the art design
Yeah,
was really cool too. I had to shout that out. The
very cool visual.
music very subtle, but you know, is there some cool music beats. Definitely wouldn't like say it's like the best music ever, but it's got its cool moments.
Yeah, yeah.
And just popping in and out of the world looks super cool. I gotta shout
Very
that out.
cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
fucking love that. The boss fights, you must have liked that at least when you get thrown out. You know, you
I
don't
thought it was
die,
very funny for
you do
sure.
get thrown out. Yeah, and I'm like,
Very
okay,
funny for
that's
sure.
cool.
It's
That's a
yeah.
cool way to get around never dying. You know.
Yes. Yeah. Technically, yeah. I guess technically you don't die, right?
Yeah, you technically never die in the game. But yeah, really enjoyed it. I'm also still playing Sea of Stars. I am 23-ish hours in. I gotta
Ooh,
be
I thought
right
you
at the end.
beat this game already.
Nah, yeah, I didn't beat it. I got a little burnt out on it towards the middle. It's
Okay.
I still love the game, but it's a bit too many times where they just kind of threw something else at me before we do the main objective, you know? 'Cause,
I hate that.
yeah, it's just a few too many of just like, hey, we got to go get this thing before we can do the main thing. And I felt like in the beginning of the game, it didn't really do that. But now I'm like really noticing, like, man, you guys really seem to be dragging this along here. You know, like I feel like this game could have been 15 to 20 ish hours instead of what it seems to
20
be
to
more of
30.
25 to 30. You know, yeah, I think you guys could have chop that down a little bit. A
Is that you
few
doing a lot of side stuff though?
No, like, I haven't done any
No?
side stuff. I haven't even really seen
Interesting.
any, if I'm being honest, you know?
Okay.
And, there was, like, one thing where they said that seemed like a side thing, but I couldn't find where it was, so, yeah, I don't know. It's, I mean, I do take my time on most games, so, you
Yeah.
know, I get most people but it is a very linear game, so, like, if I'm 23, I would assume most people would be 22, 21 at most, you know? Which isn't really that much wiggle room going on there, but, yeah, just a few too many times where it just felt like you guys are just dragging the story along to make it longer instead of actually giving me meaningful stuff to do.
Interesting.
I do
Hmm.
still really like it. The story's awesome. I just hit a really big story beat last night when I was playing, so now I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta fucking get back into this. But yeah, so still having a good time with that. Definitely gonna
Do you
beat
see
it.
the end? Yeah. Do you see the end for like the game where it's like, oh, this is I'm going to the last mission?
No, but I feel like I'm in the last if you will, you know,
Okay.
if you want to last chapter ish. I don't know, like I can see where the game's about to end at least.
How
But
far do you think I got to? Where I got to the guy that I got into a ball and the guy threw me, and I
oh,
did
you're
like a
not
little
far at
bit after
all. Yeah,
that. Okay. Fantastic.
not at all. You haven't gotten the
Fantastic.
ship yet.
Absolutely not.
No, okay, yeah, no, you are nowhere. you got
All
some
right.
hours, yeah. But yeah, I'm still having a really good time with the game. Love the combat and stuff like that. The story and the characters are still really charming, and yeah, excited to see the ending. I heard there's like a true ending, which I'm not a big fan of. You
I
know, where
hate
you
that.
gotta like do
Just the
everything
ending
just
should
to
be
do
the
that.
ending.
Yeah, like just show me the ending. So I'm probably just gonna beat it, roll credits, see the ending, and then just look up the true ending, whatever the fuck that is, and then yeah, I'll put it down after that. So yeah, just a bit too long, I would say, with Sea of Stars, but still really enjoy it.
But to be fair, like that's shorter than a lot of RPGs are now, which
Oh, for sure, yeah.
this is probably where more RPG should be.
And I
20
get
to
they're trying
30.
to invoke those old school RPGs, so they want
Exactly.
to do that type of stuff, and like I get what they're going for, but for me personally, just a
Maybe a little too
yeah,
long.
bit
Yeah.
too long, yeah, I would say. And yeah, so really looking forward to Spider-Man's next week. So I got to beat Sea of Stars this week, and Alan Wake right after that. So gonna get good here in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, we got literally next week Mario and man, I need to actually I, I need to go pre-order Mario.
Yeah, you gotta fucking
I
get that.
usually get all my
Where do you get
Switch games.
your
That's my
Switch
stat.
games from?
I have GameStop.
You go GameStop, yeah. My
Sometimes
GameStop closed down,
Amazon.
and that's right by me, so it's like, ah,
Oh,
you
really?
fuckers, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes Amazon if like I'm not like if I don't care to like I did with Prime,
Yeah,
Metroid Prime remastered. I was like, I'll just get that because I knew that I was not going to play that immediately. I'm like,
right,
I
yeah.
want it, but
They'll
I'm going to
send
get
it
that.
to you then.
I'll probably do that with RPG. I'll probably just get that on Amazon, and then Mario, I'll just go down and pre-order it.
When
So I need
is
to do that.
RPG? That's like mid-November.
It sounds about right.
Mid-November, cool. Yeah, I definitely want to check that one out too.
Yeah.
That'll probably be it for the year for me, I guess. I'm trying to think.
Mm,
Spider-Man, Alan Wake,
yeah, no
Mario
Call of Duty for
RPG.
you, right?
No, no interest. Thirsty Suitors comes out in November too. That game looks
Oh yeah,
awesome.
Thirsty Suitors. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably check that out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Mirage. You gonna play AC Mirage?
Eh,
I
I don't
have it
know.
downloaded actually.
Do you really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to with Spider-Man right there. I really don't want to play
Yeah.
like two third-person open world games right back to back. But maybe Mirage towards the end of the year. I'm kind of
I
more
guess
interested in the Avatar game than I am Mirage, if I'm being honest.
I was gonna bring up two games. There's gonna be the Avatar game
Yeah.
or Armored Core could be like your end
Yeah,
game.
yeah. I kind of want to check out Armored Core too. I know fucking if Baldur's Gate wins Game of the Year at the Game Awards, that's gonna get me where I'm gonna be like,
Maybe your
okay, I
December
gotta,
game.
yeah, I gotta at least check this out. You know?
That's that. I hope that that's my December game.
Yeah. Oh, you'd need to
Yeah.
come to Xbox, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd
that's what I
imagine it would.
prefer.
I
That's
don't.
what I would prefer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I think
It's
maybe November next month. Maybe it'll come to Xbox.
it's
Is what
just
I'm
funny with
thinking.
that game because every time I see gameplay, I'm like, nope. I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah, this is not.
you don't like that type like XCOM-y.
No,
You're
no,
not
I
into
do,
that.
I do not, I
Yeah.
do not. But like everything else about it sounds really cool to me. All the RPG elements and characters and how all your stuff seems to carry forward and decisions you made in the past come forward and have implications in the future. That stuff sounds awesome. But then I see the
But
combat
like
and I'm like, eh,
how much have you've been curious of like just D&D? Can I ask? You
not
know
at
how much
all.
I play. You know how much I play the
Yeah,
actual game of D&D. Like, are you curious about it? Of like its
no,
actual like role playing or its like class system and its combat system? Like, are you actually curious about that at all? No.
no, not really. No.
Is it like Baldur's Gate? Like it's D&D. Like
Yeah, right.
it is Wizards of the
D
Coast
and D to a
D&D.
T. Yeah.
Yeah, Like the
Yeah,
classes and everything.
yeah, I don't know. It's just with how much everyone praises the game, I just feel like I need to check it out and see if I could be into it, you know? But
I would
I just don't
go
know.
see like a gameplay breakdown, and if it does not call to you, I would not say do
Yeah,
it.
I feel like I've seen enough combat at this point where I'm like, no.
Then you might just not want to do it. Maybe Armored Core might
For
suit you
sure.
better.
And like it is just one of those things though, if like you know, I could definitely see this game winning game of the year and I would just be like, I feel like I
Yeah, for
gotta
sure.
at least check it out, right? But I don't know. We'll see when we get there. I want to get past Spider-Man and Alan Wake and all that first.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we got like, dude, we got in the next 2 weeks, we have 3 Game of the Years, caliber games.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's pretty
nuts,
fucking
dude.
nuts. Yeah.
Nuts. Well, there's also the Alien Hominid game that's coming out. I mean,
Yeah,
you could
that
check
too.
that out too.
Yeah,
Check that out too.
I'm sure definitely in December I'll check out
Because
some
that's like
smaller
that's gonna
stuff.
be a game you could pop in. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. We are out of time, so that's gonna do it for Nerd Gods Podcast, episode 192. Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to us over at youtube.com/nerdicgods. You can also find us available on all audio platforms. Daniel, anything else you want to say?
Ooh. I'm gonna go take some painkillers and drink some alcohol and
Beat your wife.
kill some. I was gonna say kill vampires, but
Oh, okay. I don't know. Sorry.
I don't know about James Savage is not beating his wife when he talks.
I mean, he's not married. You don't know.
You're right.
All right, kids. That'll do it. See you later.
Bye, everybody.